And this video from Pasadena gives a tiny glimpse of the complete destruction of neighborhoods in and around Los Angeles. It's stunning. And crews continue to battle the blazes throughout Los Angeles, and they're bracing for more winds and dry conditions. Our Scott Hurst is following the latest developments and joins us now with them. Scott, stunning video that's coming out of California and lots of concerns as well.
Good morning, Roger. The video continues to look apocalyptic, and the stories from people who have lost their homes truly heartbreaking. Now, firefighters have been able to make significant gains at slowing the spread of some of the major fires, but containment remains far out of reach. They've been able to take advantage of relatively calmer winds over the last 24 hours or so compared to earlier in the week when aerial assets couldn't even get off the ground and fight the fire from above. So they have been able to make some gains, but there is still quite a significant firefight ahead as fire danger warnings remain in place and winds have died down a bit. Firefighters are taking advantage, but meteorologists are warning the reprieve could be short-lived, with the Santa Ana winds expected to gain strength and pick back up significantly for much of the next week. As you mentioned, at this time, 10,000 homes and buildings destroyed, at least 10 people killed, but likely we won't get the full scope of the devastation until investigators can even get to some communities. As you can expect, looking at some of the video here, either the charred remains or some neighborhoods still smoldering, it is still unsafe to begin that part of the recovery, that part of the investigation, and that part of the cleanup. So there are still many areas where fire investigators and crews can't even get to. That is why they're expecting the number of homes and buildings destroyed and potentially the number of deaths to continue to swell. Now, Roger, also adding to the stress and hardship to those facing fire danger, those that have been forced from their homes, the city of Santa Monica next to Pacific Palisades, where that massive fire is continuing to burn and now about 6% contained. Well, that city has declared a curfew as law enforcement officials say at least 20 people have been arrested for looting, and National Guard troops have also been deployed near fire-ravaged areas to help protect property of the people who have been displaced by these massive fires, Roger.
Unbelievable, those images. Now, Canada's helping out. There are neighbors to the south, and we're helping out, aren't we?
Roger, there are Canadian assets already attacking the fire and more Canadian assets on the way. But we can tell you that the Quebec-based water scooper that has already been helping the fire, it has now been grounded after it struck a civilian drone. The aircraft sustained wing damage yesterday afternoon and remains out of service. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported. The incident is now under investigation by the FAA, as it is a federal crime to fly a drone in the midst of firefighting efforts. So that is a small setback in this firefight that will continue for quite some time, but more resources from north of the border are on the way to help in Southern California. BC says its wildfire officials have met with California counterparts to arrange resources. Alberta has committed manpower, water bombers, and night vision helicopters. We also heard from the Ontario Premier yesterday saying that this province, Ontario, is pledging aircraft, urban firefighters, 165 of them, and a 20-person incident management team. So there is help already on the ground and help still in the air from Canada, Roger, and more help is on the way from north of the border.
All right, CTV's Scott Hurst, thank you for that.
Thanks, Roger.